Hey guys, Lisa from HELLOhappy, and today I am bringing you a HELLOhappy pattern from the vaults, a vintage, if you will, although it's not literally vintage, but it is 10 years old, so it's halfway there. It is my, what I called, Funny Bear cell phone sleeve. Ta-da! Here are some more pictures. Honestly, it's cute. Nobody really uses like thick padded fabric phone sleeves or cases anymore, but you know what? We should bring them back because I feel like our phones are more delicate than ever. And you can just throw it in a sleeve and throw it in a tote bag and not even worry about it. So let's bring them back, and also let's make them animal shaped because that's better. We need whimsy in our current situation. So let's bring back whimsy, and I'll make some bear cell phone cases, okay? This pattern is really easy to make fit whatever device that you have. You just sort of crochet until it's big enough and then go from there. So if you're making this for a friend or something, figure out what phone they have, look up the measurements, and go from there. Okay, so for supplies, you'll need a 4mm hook and worsted weight yarn in 2 colors. Originally, I used cotton yarn for this project. I think that's still a solid choice. Wool would be good too. Any kind of blend of natural fibers is good. I wouldn't specifically recommend acrylic yarn for this because of its purpose is to be pulled in and out of a bag, so it's going to get very fuzzy very quickly. If that doesn't bother you, it's fine, but it's not necessarily the best choice in this case for the purpose. You need some stuff for the face. I used some buttons for the eyes. They're like 6mm buttons approximately. And then some thread or some floss for embroidering the nose and the mouth. And then I did use Velcro on the flap. You might want to do something differently. Like you could crochet a hole into the flap and then use like a button and then embroider a nose or embroider a mouth on the flap so that when the button is closed it looks good. There's some options. Play around with it. Do whatever you want for the face. Obviously, it's your project. But that's what I did. And then of course you're going to need scissors and yarn needle, the basic stuff. Before we get started, a word from today's sponsors. Thanks to me for sponsoring this video. Me, HELLOhappy, I'm the sponsor, and today's featured crochet pattern is this one. Look at it. Isn't it nice? You can get this at my website, HELLOhappy.net. You can get it at Etsy, Ravelry. You might be able to get it at Rippler. It's possible that it's on crochet.com. Who knows? It could be a lot of places, but you should go to my website first and foremost. Yeah, so again, thanks to me for sponsoring me. Okay, back to you, me. Wow, thanks, me. Wasn't that great? Now, one more thing before we start the actual crochet. In my pattern, I suggest that people kind of trace out their phones, like so, and kind of mark where they want the color changes to be, and I stand by this method. I think it's great. You don't have to do any math. You just lay your crochet on top of your little sketch, and it tells you when to change colors. So I think that you should do that. Okay, so now we'll finally do some crochet, but you'll have to do a little bit of testing first because, you know, your mileage may vary. We all have different tension and different size phones. So go ahead and chain 13. Do a half double crochet into the second chain from your hook and into the next 10. Now when you're crocheting, only go into the top loop of the chain because you're going to be crocheting the other side of the chain. So just half double crochet times 11 total into the top loops of the chain, and then in the last loop do 2 half double crochet, so you've got a total of 13. Then you're going to rotate 90 degrees so your hook is on the opposite end, and you're going to do the same thing, half double crochet into 11 chains, 2 half double crochet into the final one, So you'll have a total of 26 half double crochet stitches. We're going to call that round 1 and round 2. Round 3, that's 3. So for round 3, you are going to just half double crochet around through each stitch, but you are only going through the very back loop. This boy has texture. That is how you achieve the texture. That is, of course, optional. If you don't want the texture, then go through whatever loops you feel like going through. It's art. Do what you like. But that's how you get it to look like this. Once you've got round 3, test it on your phone. Make sure it fits. Add or subtract any stitches you feel like you need to from the starting chain. You know, frog, test it out, whatever you got to do to make it fit, and then we can move on. For round 4 and onwards, just continue half double crocheting into the back loops of each stitch until your piece is long enough. And of course, if you made the little sketch, do the color change on where it kind of lines up with your sketch and you'll be good. Once it's tall enough, you want to make your final round single crochet through the back loops. It has a much nicer finish than finishing with a half double crochet. So make your very last round single crochet, and then you are finished with the body. The arms and legs and ears are just single crochet. For the arms and the legs, make a magic ring of 6 single crochet and then do 2 rounds of 6 single crochet. That's it. Just sew them on flat. I didn't stuff mine because they're so little. If you want to lightly stuff yours, I recommend maybe doing an additional round of single crochet just so there's a little more volume to stuff, but you know, try some different things. It's totally up to you. For the ears, I did a magic ring of 6 single crochet and then I increased to 9 by doing single crochet increase 3 times. And that's it. It's just a circle. If I was going to make this now, instead of that, I would either only increase to 8 or keep it at 9, and then I would do like maybe 3 rounds of single crochet without increasing. Maybe the 3rd round I would actually decrease a couple stitches just so it has more of a, you know, bear ear shape. And then it wouldn't just be a flat circle. I would like, you know, squish that and sew that on flat. And I think that would look nicer, but do whatever you like for the ears and the feet and hands. Obviously, do whatever you want, period. But that's what I did, and that's what I would do now. So use this information as you will. Now the nose flap. So the way I originally did it was with the Velcro closure. Here is the exact instructions I have here. And again, like, you can make modifications if this doesn't work, but I think this will fit most phones. This size makes sense, but edit how you will. So chain 9, turn, single crochet into 8 stitches, because of course you're skipping that first chain. Then chain 1, turn again, and then go around the entire rectangle without turning when you get to the end of the row. What you're going to do is you're going to do 2 single crochet into the corner, 2 single crochet into the middle, and then 2 single crochet into the other corner, and that gives it like a round shape. Now, if you want to add a buttonhole, what we're going to do that is round 2, instead of single crochet 8, single crochet into, you know, the second chain from your hook as usual, and then chain 1 and skip that next chain, and then single crochet into the last 6 stitches so that you'll have a hole, and then hopefully that one chain 1 and skip will be a big enough hole for a small nose sized button. to pop through. I would recommend that you have the button for the nose that you're going to use on hand already so that you can test it. Otherwise, if the button ends up too big for the hole, it's going to be a pain to have to like unstitch things later if you've already got the flap sewn on, you know what I mean? Have the button. Just have the button already and test it before you sew things on. That's what needs to be said. Okay. Go ahead and sew all the small parts on and then embroider the face however you've decided to do that, whether you're doing a Velcro or possibly a magnetic snap. You know, you want to get the nose and the mouth on before you would sew anything to the other side of the flap. Sew on the eyes. So once the face is on, then you can, attach the glue on the Velcro, sew on a snap, sew on the other button. I don't know, whatever you're doing, and then that's that. That's the pattern. So now, to quote myself from 10 years ago, sit back and enjoy your new sleeve friend. Oh, if you are going to glue the Velcro on rather than sew the Velcro on, definitely use like E6000. Don't sniff it. Don't sniff that glue. But use the glue. And that is the pattern. Hopefully you liked it or got something out of it, felt inspired to make one, made one, posted pictures on social media and tagged me so I can see them. All wonderful things. Yeah. By the way, I recorded this whole pattern part already. This is my second go, but I forgot to turn my microphone on, so I had to redo the whole thing. Love that for me. You can get a pattern for a little mushroom cover for your mini microphone right here in my channel. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, bye.